Well, just one guy I wanted to talk about was Terrence Crawford with you. He
Absolutely.
fights this Saturday on pay-per-view. Fights against Amir Khan. I
Mhm.
imagine you're decently familiar with Amir because he
Mm.
maybe ran cross paths with him in Hayward up in
Yeah,
Andre Ward's gym. Maybe is that right?
yeah, we sparred at one point. Yeah,
Ooh, you sparred.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
how did that go?
It was great. I was 16 at that time, and his speed was something that you can't really expect because you don't see his type of speed out of most people.
Right.
But I did good with it. He was helping me learn. I was helping him with an opponent at the time, and it was just an awesome experience for me. And I held my own. I did good, and it was great.
So, but that speed is
The
something
speed is
different.
definitely something different than what anybody else has. So you got to really focus on timing when you're in there with them.
I mean, because you got some quick hands yourself, but is he literally the fastest guy you've been in
Oh,
the ring?
absolutely. I don't think
Damn.
I've ever met anybody who's gotten in the ring with him actually and said that he wasn't the fastest dude he's been in there with. I think the difference between him and a lot of guys, like I've got quick hands and my shots come off fast. As far as like if I throw a jab, it's going to be quick. If I throw a 1-2, they're both going to be quick. But with him, it's like he can fire off 7 or 8 in like a very small amount of time. It's like a different type of speed. It's like the difference of quickness and speed. You know what I mean? He's very, very fast. He's got fast hands that come off very, very like rapidly. You know what I mean? His hands come off like rapid fire. I think that's a unique thing that he's got that a lot of guys don't, even if they have speed. So yeah.
I mean, he does do them 7, 8 punch combos, like you said. Is that
Mm-hmm.
part of his problem though? That he doesn't take the pot shot, the 1-2 at times, and he leaves himself in there too long trying to
I
land.
think the problem can be if like a lot of the fights that he's been caught in, he's winning the beginning of it because it's so hard to deal with that. But it's also easy to get lucky against, maybe. You know what I mean? Or not easy to, but it also gives a guy a chance to get lucky. Like when
Right.
Danny Garcia closed his eyes and hit him with that hook. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that was a lucky shot, but it kind of had an element of luck to it. He set it up, but it was also, a shot that very easily could have been avoided. So yeah, that could be downfall, but it also is a point of his success. And just like anything, strengths can become a weakness, and especially when you rely so heavily on that one strength. Not saying he doesn't have more than one strength, but that's if you've got that's like Floyd. Floyd's biggest strength is his defense. If someone found out that there was a loophole to that defense that was just like surefire, then Floyd would be a lot different of a threat. He wouldn't be as, it would make him vulnerable, if you were able to, know that you had something that worked against that defense every time. And it became common knowledge, At the beginning of Khan's career, it was like his speed. And then somebody found a crack. And then another guy found a crack, another guy. So I think that could have became a issue over time. But I know he's training with Verge, and I know Verge is gonna come up with a game plan that is solid and that he can take into the ring, and it's gonna do well for him. I think that he's really underestimated. He fought up until he fought Canelo. He was on an undefeated streak at welterweight. He was looking phenomenal. He fought Canelo and didn't get the respect. If Errol Spence would have knocked Mikey Garcia clean out, nobody would have underestimated him the way that they underestimate Amir Khan. I mean, I just think, like I said, it's just a narrative. I see what people are saying, like when they talk about his chin, but I mean, I don't think there's really much of. There's people who have great chins, don't get me wrong, but I think, like you said, his deep defensive liabilities caused that topic to come up so much more than just him having a weak chin,
What's his punching power like?
He's got underrated punching power, and
He's been saying that all week.
Multiple people in the gym that sparred him, we all say that. Like, people forget how hard he hits. He hits hard. If he didn't hit hard, then he wouldn't have kept Canelo off him for like 8 rounds. It wouldn't have happened. Canelo would have just been like, "Oh, this is a joke," But he stung Canelo a little bit. Not saying he hurt him, but like his head would fly back when you'd hit him. Speed equals power. You can't have that much speed and have no power. It's not. It's not even logical, So he can punch, and he's fast, and he's fighting somebody his own size. And if he has a special performance, then he's got a shot. If he has one of his best performances, then he's got a really good shot. But Terrence is obviously, one of the best fighters in the entire world. So it would be an incredible win if he could get it done in an insane upset. And Terrence Crawford's also one of my favorite fighters. So I just would say it's more of a interesting fight than what people are giving it credit for. And if Crawford comes out and dominates, that's something that you got to give him massive credit for. It's not just a, cherry picking fight. It's not. It's not. It's a dangerous fight. It's a dangerous fight for anybody.
I hear what you're saying, but at the end of the day, is it inevitable, even if Khan shoots out to a good start and all that Terrence at some point measures him, figures him out, gets the distance, gets the range, and knocks him out because he lands so clean? Yeah.
We'll see. It's possible. I mean, of course, anything can happen.
I guess that's not the right way to say is it inevitable, but is that the logical outcome when you break down this fight and you analyze it? Terrence Crawford at some point by knockout.
Terrence Crawford is going to at some point hit Khan, and Khan's got an opportunity in this fight to show that his chin is not what they say it is. And he's also got a chance to prove people right, But he does have a chance to prove people wrong. This is a welterweight fight. If he comes in there and takes Crawford's best punches, it gets hit but keeps going, makes it has a special performance, and win or lose, leaves it all in the ring, he's got a chance to prove people wrong. And his stock could go way up again. Even if he loses the fight, it could go up. Even if he loses the fight, he can make people believers again. That's what I've got to say.
And just kind of close on that fight. Yeah. Do you think, because you mentioned he's kind of relied on his speed because it's so good. Yeah. Do you think he needs to show something more than that, and that he has it in him to match Crawford, not just in speed but in skills? Can he show us the boxing skill to beat a Terrence Crawford in this fight?
He's gonna have to. I remember when he fought Devin Alexander. I felt like he did. I don't know if you remember that fight. He showed a lot of skills in that fight. Fighting against a southpaw, and a tricky one at that, back when he was still, somewhat in his prime. Devin was.
It was a hell of a performance.
It was, and it was one of my favorites that he ever had. And I remember watching that fight and being like, man, he was with Verge in that fight, and Verge really had him boxing nice. And anybody who says that Khan is trash, go watch the Canelo fight. He was boxing beautiful. Canelo can box. Canelo's not just some robot. Canelo can box, and Khan was outboxing him, and he looked phenomenal in that fight. And people who underestimate Verge, watch Khan before Verge and watch Khan after Verge. He's way more of a complete fighter. He's been training for 12 full weeks. You can't underestimate the dude. He's got every opportunity to go out there and prove people wrong. That's all I can say. And I'm not even saying that prove people wrong by beating him necessarily. I'm saying win or lose, he can prove people wrong in this fight.
And he's coming in very low key to this fight too, so that might be good for him.
I haven't been able to talk to him, and I don't know where his mind's at. But like I said, he's got an opportunity to make something happen here. He said before, I don't lose boxing matches. Now Crawford can punch too, but he's also an amazing boxer. So like I said, if Khan can stand up to Crawford's punch, then we've got a fight. That's the thing, because Khan's an awesome boxer. If you go watch, like I said, watch his fight with Canelo, watch some of his fights post Verge, since he's been with Verge, and you can see he can box like no other. So, and with that speed and boxing skills, you've got a dangerous fighter. The only thing that he's, lacked in the past is defense and getting hit with the wrong shots, and maybe a little bit of chin issues. If he can stand up to Crawford's punch and show him that and surprise Crawford, then, like I said, we've got a very interesting fight.